My next two guests, comedians, activists, provocateurs, however you want to call them, but they are extremely popular, and their new Netflix show, Chad and JT Go Deep, is available right now for streaming on Netflix. JT Parr and Chad Kroeger here on The Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, gents?
Dude, excellent, man. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just riding the stoke, living the dream.
What is the stoke? Can you put more meat on the stoke bones, JT? What do you got for me on that?
We try
front?
to never give it too prescriptive of a definition because we want to leave it open to people's
interpretation,
feelings.
right? We can fill in the blanks. What you're saying?
Some of like the working defs we have is that it's like a ripe avocado. You know, it's just a blissful moment that passes, but that is perfect in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've described it as like being in a car with your girlfriend and your best friends going to get fish tacos.
Yeah.
It's easier to compare to experiences, I guess.
Yeah. Sort of like when you shotgun a Monster Energy and then you just redline your Supra. You know?
In other words, open to interpretation.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's different
So
kinds.
you're saying there's different types of, you know, like that wouldn't be my definition of stoke.
Right. Yeah, that's,
you know what I mean? That's yours. That's yours.
At the moment. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I'm into.
And I imagine I shouldn't try that at home, what you just described as well.
No, I go to the Mojave.
Yeah, save it for the track.
Yeah.
JT Parr and Chad Kroeger, the activists, I guess, is one way to definitely call you guys. Chad and JT Go Deep, available for streaming on Netflix. Our terrestrial radio audience is back with all of us together. And I guess, you know, Chad and JT, I'm familiar with your work because I follow all the local, you know, C-SPAN coverage of a number of very small Southern California cities that need to have some sort of public commentary from the people.
Yeah.
And you seem to be provided that. You guys really take a stand on so many issues, and I just want to let you guys know I admire that.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
I admire your approach to making sure our world's a better place. How did you come up with the idea of a Paul Walker statue, Chad,
dude, good question.
Well, I only ask those types of questions.
Dude, thank you, man. And I appreciate you throwing the abbrev in there. Yeah, I mean, it's at a time, you know, sort of not unlike now where this country is super polarized, you know,
Yes.
You know, everyone was sort of, you know, just sort of grappling with each other. And JT and I were sort of like, looked at each other. We're like, well, we need, like, this is not okay. Everyone needs to kind of feel stoked again. Everyone needs to come together. And we're like, we look at each other. We're like, what brings us together? And boom, Paul Walker. And what do you do for unifying figures? You make a statue. So it literally just popped into our domes. And then we just hit the council that day because JT's well-versed in politics. Like, he knows the word constituents. So we did it that day, and it just like, then our activism began. And then it began. Yeah.
And how did you find the city council took your request for a Paul Walker statue?
There was a respectful denial. But
Yes.
we had such a groundswell of support from America, from the entire nation, that they erected at least a 6-inch statue.
Yeah, they made like a little doll.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I missed that.
It was cool. I mean, we want something that stands out a bit more because we wanted people who were like immigrating to San Clemente for that to be the first thing they saw on the pier.
Yes.
And unless they're rocking binocs, like they're not going to see the 6-incher, but it's a start.
Yeah.
So how much of a factor do you find yourselves being in front of these city councils and trying to press your case for so many important issues that of our time, guys? What would you say?
I mean, you know, they listen to us. I mean, they come up afterwards and they're sort of like, you know, I didn't want to say this, but you were saying exactly what I wanted to hear. You know, a lot of respectful denials, but, you know, I think that, you know, the general population sort of, you know, supports our causes, and that's continuing the momentum to bring about change and just bring about more stoke.
And we've inspired like a lot of other new young activists that they didn't realize that those environments were so accessible. So I get like I get DMs and texts from like dudes at LSU and Arizona State and Florida State and other like, you know, prestigious academic institutions, and they'll just hit me up and be like, dude, I didn't realize like we could petition the city to like build a beer bong off the library tower. And I'm like, no, you can and you should. And so that's been like something we didn't anticipate, but that's been very life affirming.
Yeah. And even dudes as far as like Denver and stuff, they'd be like, I can't tell you how many dudes have been like, you know, hey, I just petitioned for another chairlift. you know? And that's crazy.
Did they build one? Did they build one?
No.
Another chairlift?
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like that might be bringing sand to the beach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, yeah, but worst case scenario, they just do more backcountry, so it's a win-win.
Good point.
Yeah.
Was there a moment, guys, where the light bulb went over your heads collectively and said that you could? Well, you have to listen to me finish my sentence.
Sorry.
No, where the light bulb went over your head and you thought to yourselves, "We can make a difference." Was there one specific moment where you guys realized the sway you might have?
I think, you know, it was a very personal moment, but it was when we first met, we were doing a 4-hose beer bong. And, you know, there were 2 other dudes involved, Kellen and Bonk. But during our chug, we just had this cosmic connection and I think at that moment, we sort of looked at each other, we were like, whoa, we are kind of a dream team when it comes to making change, because JT's so good at amping people up at parties, and we're like, well, why don't we just do that for the rest of the world? You know what I mean?
But you inspire me to do it.
Oh, that's true.
Like, you're like, hey, everyone here needs to get amped. And I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So once you mobilize that energy, I really started to take off, and I owe it all to my dog right here.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Have you made your parents proud?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they had very low expectations. So,
So the bar's been set very low?
yeah, I was really intentional about that. Like, I waited about 24 years before I did anything right, so that once it started going a little bit better, they were like, holy cow, sky's the limit for this kid.
Chad and JT Go Deep is available on Netflix or streaming right now. So what would you say is your perfect day, Chad and JT? What's your perfect
about
day?
this before.
Perfect day. I think I'd start off the morning with a nice streak, and then do some perineum sunning. That's sort of our main holistic practice at the moment.
So the streak is stripping down. And when you say perineum, for those who might not have taken biology, what is that body part?
I believe the scientific term is taint.
Okay, the spot
Yeah.
where taint, okay, nothing in between.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's,
you sun it, you know, you get direct sunlight on it for,
Yes.
you know, just to, it increases vitamin D, your electrical charge, and immunity. And also knowledge. Like, I couldn't really read that well until I started perineum sunning.
Is that right?
It did.
It improved your reading comprehension.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah, like I started reading in front of JT, and he's like, dude, you're reading. And I was like, yeah, it's perineum sunning.
Okay, so that's a good start to the day, sort of like a healthy breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
What about, and then what happens next? What do you
I
got
know,
for
we
me
go to
there?
get a cup of coffee, and maybe like the short story writer George Saunders is there, and we just break down some philosophical ideas. Then we cruise to the gym, probably for a boxing workout, and like Lomachenko's there just teaching us about footwork. And then
Wow.
to cap it all off, once we got our body, mind, and
Oh yeah, the endorphins
head
must be
right,
popping by
yeah,
then.
we're feeling good. So then it's time
Sure.
to go to a friend's wedding.
Why? Why? Is it just because you appreciate the love of a friend? And
The
stuff
stoke
like
is
that?
so peak. Everyone's having the best night ever. The drinks are ripping. The dance floor's on fire. All the classics, September, Justin Timberlake, etc. And yeah, you just go wild.
Yeah. And I think after that, we drunk dial our local representative. Just tell him what's up, you know?
What do you mean? Tell them what's up.
Just be like, dude, we had a great day. Just checking in.
Oh, you start with
Yeah.
the perineum sunning, and you end up with the, you know, I
Yeah.
guess the
A little
electric
civic
slide or
engagement.
something like that. The
Yeah,
chicken
sure.
dance, which is something I banned from my wedding. That was my wedding was a chicken dance, electric slide free zone. We
Yeah,
could
you got to
not-
curate the dance floor. That's huge.
I did my best to do that.
Did you break dance?
I did not. I did not break dance. I sang Sinatra at my wedding.
Whoa.
I did.
You were crooning a little
I was
bit?
definitely. If I was paying for the band, I was going to have my own karaoke.
That sounds
I feel like you have a
sexy.
great voice.
I have timbre.
Yeah, you do have timbre.
I've got timbre.
Nice.
I can hear here.
Thank
yeah.
you. You could hear it right from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your perfect day, huh? From start to finish.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we thought about it.
Yeah. You
We're
can,
trying to
really-
get it. We're trying to make it happen.
yeah. You should
Okay.
join us.
Well, where would I fit in and all that? I don't know. Look, I have another job with the NFL. I don't know if perineum sunning is in my contract as something I can do.
Right.
I need to check the fine print
Okay.
on that. I would just say it tain't possible. You see what I did?
Whoa.
You
Nice
see what I
wordplay.
did?
Yeah,
Thank
they
you.
get specific with the contracts in the NFL. Like when they wouldn't let Big Ben ride a motorcycle, it's like you're not allowed to sun your butt.
There's a lot of that stuff in the off season. But, you know,
Right.
there is no off season for me talking about the NFL. So that's, you know, that's my own burden. But other than that, I could probably join like a good boxing workout. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And the squad's ever expanding. There's always room.
Is that so?
Yeah, you said, where do I fit in? I'm like, I don't see where you fit out. Like,
Nicely
I think
done.
it's all.
I appreciate that.
It's all meshing.
JT and Chad right here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what do you guys want your legacy to be?
Oh, it's good cue.
Legacy.
What's your legacy? I mean, clearly you're trying to change minds. You're trying to make an impact. It's obvious in your work. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you think?
I think for me personally, I think I want to be known as the guy who forever changed the brand of the name Chad. You know, because Chad has, you know, kind of a negative connotation within the public sphere right now.
Well, how so? What do you mean?
People just say, you know, they say Chads and Brads, you know, referring to dudes who just like aren't chill or, you know, square up a lot. And so I want to be the guy who's like, no, Chads are actually sick. And I want that to sort of be in the Urban Dictionary after I'm done.
I'd like to be like the Dick Vermeil of activism, where a prominent champion.
By the way, I cannot wait to hear what the description of this is going to be, JT. I can't wait to hear it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your flow right there.
Not at all.
But
dude.
that's a great opener.
Thank you.
That you want to be the Dick Vermeil of activism?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Like a prominent, enduring figure who reaches the mountaintop and cries the whole time.
And has longevity.
Has longevity.
I mean, he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's
got
damn
a
near
chip.
90.
He's
right?
in the movie Invincible.
Yes.
And we also know that if you bring up any player he has any kind of relationship with, he'll find the sentimental there and break down. And I'd like to do that, but in the activism sphere.
Are you saying you would want Greg Kinnear to play you in a film if a film was made of your life?
I'm not opposed to it. I'm a pretty big Kinnear fan. I didn't think he was hot enough in the movie Sabrina to go toe-to-toe with Harrison Ford, but in everything else, I think he's been top-notch.
That's an excellent breakdown.
Thank you.
I understand that. I understand that. Dennis Quaid just played him in Kurt Warner's movie as well.
Nice. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Whose Vermeil did you like more?
I thought Dennis Quaid's Vermeil was a little bit more believable.
I believe that.
Because and this is totally unfair to Greg Kinnear, who has been nominated for an Oscar, right?
As good as it gets.
He was too close to his Talk Soup days for me to believe him as Dick Vermeil.
Oh, interesting.
It wasn't that far removed from that. Not to get too deep into the details here, but
I love it.
You know, do you play fantasy football?
I do. I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Utah for my annual fantasy football draft.
Why is it in Utah?
Our friend has a home out there, and it's kind of equidistant for everyone who lives all over the country. So we all fly in for 3 days, and we paintball and go-kart race and then draft.
Okay. In that order?
Yeah. That's basically the running order.
Utah is geographically sound because to only a certain part of the United States, one would say.
Yeah, equidistant was probably the wrong phrase, but it was the closest one I could think of. It's just,
I didn't mean to take you too literally there, but I'm just trying to figure.
Direct flights from New York, direct flights from LA.
That's what you need to know. Okay. Did you know this guy over there, Chris Brockman? Would you care to tell these guys what your fantasy football league is all about? Would you please
Yes, of course.
enlighten JT and Chad? Because to me, I think your activism needs to be brought to bear to stop what you're about to hear.
Whoa.
If you wouldn't mind giving us your 2 cents on that.
I'm in a 14-team league.
That's already bad.
We are actually drafting this weekend. We do a thing where we also do a live draft in person, but we go to the city of the team that wins the Super Bowl. So we've gone to Denver and Baltimore, Seattle, New England over the years. Went to Tampa last year.
Get to the bad part.
So we have, 15 rounds, no time limits.
Oh, whoa.
So our drafts usually take about 8 hours on Saturday.
One time, 1 year, an individual in his league took 28 minutes to draft Brian Hartline at wide receiver.
In the 8th round.
If that had happened to me, I would have absolutely committed some sort of an assault, physical assault on that. But like around minute 8, minute 4, I would have been getting fidgety. Right. Minute 8, I would have gotten aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So what is your thought? I think you have a thought. I could see already.
I absolutely love it because those late round picks, those can be what make your whole season. You know what I mean? And I also like that you guys treat it like almost like chess grandmasters where there's that much thought put into each single move. Yeah. And so, and I also have to expect that you guys are talking a lot of trash when he's taking all that time.
A lot of
right?
trash, a lot of food and beer, and,
Being
drinks
thrown in their
eaten.
direction?
Well, it's, a lot of just like, dude, like, come on, what are we doing? Like, it's been 12 minutes. Just take somebody. Like, you're not going to win anyway. You're going to cut this guy in week 4. Just a lot of that going on while they're doing,
And then when they
dumbass
finally make the pick and you realize their brain just broke, you'll never forget that. You pick on
and
them
then
for
it's
that.
always like, that's who you took?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
So you will not act against this? You will not be activists against this idea? You will not?
No, in fact, I like it so much, I think we might bring it to the city council.
Oh.
Yeah. No more time limits on
Which
draft.
city council will you do this? Can you do that? This would be great.
Yeah, I think we got to do it in like Boston.
Do people see you coming now? Do city councils know you're coming? Do they know your faces now? Because you've done this in so many places. Your activism is now world known. Do they know that
they
you're
don't
coming?
know we're coming? When they see us, then they know. And we even went to Des Moines recently. We went to Delaware. In Delaware, they didn't want us to speak, so they tried to smoke us out for 6 hours. We showed up at 7, and we went up at 2 a.m. And they moved the public comment back.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Just to try and ice you? Is that what you're saying?
Just to try to tire us out, make us leave. But they didn't realize like I had my vape on me. I could have gone through.
Yeah.
Your siege tactics aren't going to work on me. I'm loaded for bear. I'm ready to be here all night.
That was their problem. Is that, please, they're not going to try and outlast you. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can test us on a couple fronts, like intelligence, cogence, C.
Yes.
But you will not test us on commitment.
Yeah. And they would bring up issues about like a courtyard Marriott and stuff, and we even got involved with that. They're like, well, if you're going to build this, then put some palm trees in there. And I think they did.
Yeah, which people are kind of against palm trees right now because they're a big like water suck and they don't really provide much for nature. But we're kind of big on aesthetics, and we think it provides like a level of hope when you see them that works across the country.
Oh man! Before I let you go, I want to get your thoughts on something that everybody's talking about in the sports world right now. To see if you would again agree and would want to show up in front of a city council to advocate for this or to try and prevent it from happening again. I want to tap into your advocacy and your activism, guys. This happened in Yankee Stadium on Monday night. I don't know if you saw this video. It went viral. A guy who had a hot dog and a straw, and he's poking holes through the hot dog, sucking the meat out of the straw, placing the straw away, and then using the hot dog as a straw to consume his beer.
Dude.
And I would just like to turn to you, JT Parr and Chad Kroeger, and get your thoughts. Gentlemen, what do you think?
I've long lived by the maxim not to yuck anyone's yums, but that was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Dude,
That's one county. What do you think?
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. I'm a huge...
Oh, let's go, dog.
I'm a huge... I love meat, I love the Liver King.
Yeah.
And I think this is, the movement is spreading. So I'm going to start doing that. I think...
To just start poking holes in various forms of meat and using it as a conveyance to suck some sort of liquid into your body. Is that what you're saying?
If I could chug a Coors Light through a filet mignon... I mean, I think that's it for me, dude.
It does combine two acts of consumption.
Yeah.
It is economical. Let's put it that way. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it is also a complete affront to the hot dog. Don't you think? It's a blasphemous use of the hot dog. Don't you think?
And like straws are like, I guess, just kind of gross, and hot dogs are kind of gross, and then like a beer can be kind of, it's just, I didn't see a lot of elegance there.
I sorry to respectfully disagree again,
Please,
but I'm
bro,
going to have to
please.
counter with, I think, straws are polluting the earth and they're hurting the turtles. So if we can combine a food item, then less straws will be used and then the turtles will be saved. And then I think, a beer flavored hot dog is like, my brother made a pork butt one time. He just threw a Budweiser in there and
Right
it
on
just
it.
totally enhanced the flavor. So I
How
think
about
it's,
that?
yeah.
So
I got to give it up, dog. You crushed that.
okay, Chad, you think he's onto something, and JT, you think it's wrong. And should
But I'm
be
willing to
stopped.
get past my own disgust and realize that's just issues I have with myself and maybe trauma from my past.
Yeah.
And to support my dog in this, I think, rightful endeavor.
Yeah,
Thank you
very
so
good.
much.
Okay, there you go. So your podcast, where all podcasts are acquired. You're giving advice to bros and everybody else. And I guess the phrase here is, "We will help you help yourself." Is that what that's what you're doing on your pod?
Big time. Yeah, advice to bros, helping them live their best lives and get stoked.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and this is just the podcast form, and now you've got your show and you've got your pod.
Got the pod, got the show.
And you got your tour dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
September, you're going on the road, San Diego, Greensboro, North Carolina. You're going to a bunch of places in Carolina, and then Vegas.
Vegas,
For a festival.
Yeah.
What's the festival?
I don't know, but I bet it's going to be a lot of like, doof, 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 doof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that, screaming over the music.
Yeah.
Understand. Is that your scene? Do you like that?
I'm into it, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm more of a
DJs.
Tom Petty guy, but I'll roll with anything.
Understood. Understood. And, you can get tickets and check more tour dates at chadandjt.com.
Nice.
That's what you can do. Loved you in Barry too, Chad.
Oh, thank you so much.
Nice spot.
That was incredible. That was a whirlwind. Like, it all happened within the span of a week, and Bill Hader's he's amazing.
You dispensed advice and donuts, I think, perfectly. That was impressive.
I mean, I was actually doing that at a at a Yum Yum, and Bill Hader actually saw me do that.
So he just, by happenstance, strolled into a Yum Yum Donuts, saw you doing this, and said, "I'd like to put that on my television show."
Yeah, he's like, "You give great advice," and I was like, "Thank you so much."
Impressive. Yeah. Was that written, or did you come up with this stuff yourself?
Oh, they wrote it.
They wrote
But it was actually before Chad was perennium sending him before he knew how to read.
Yeah.
So he was just like, "Yo, Bill, can you say it out loud real quick, and I'll try to memorize that stuff."
That'll be the next season of Barry. That'll be a great scene with Henry Winkler, I think.
Oh yeah.
Perineum sunning with the Fonz is something. I mean, it's got Emmy written all over it. I'm just trying to help you guys out.
He jumped the shark. Now he's going to jump the tank.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, everybody, check out Chad and JT Go Deep, available now on Netflix. Check out the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And then go to chadandjt.com to see Chad and JT in person on tour. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah,
Huge
anytime.
fan.
Thank you.
Yeah,
right back at you. You take care and come back whenever you want.
Awesome.
Are you leaving? You don't have to. We can just throw it a break and then you can get up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm a vet.
All right, here we go. We're back with more on the Rich Eisen Show in a moment.